guys, welcome to Strange Investigations. As always, I'm your host, Ron Swanson, and we're alongside co-host
Andy Dwyer.
Great to have you on the show, Andy. How's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. All right, so we're going to be getting into the DIA. It should be a very interesting one. So yeah, let's hop right on into it. So the first topic we're going to be getting into is the Blue Mustang, also known as Lucifer by those living near the area. Now, Lucifer is the large blue horse that is in front of the DIA. It's 32 feet tall, 9,000 pounds, and it has glowing red eyes, because why the heck not? It also killed its sculptor by falling on him, and it had to be finished by his kids, because it was murderous. You got any thoughts on this?
Yeah, whenever you're going towards there, that's the first thing you see, and you can immediately tell there's something wrong.
Yeah, it just feels like, why would you have a giant demonic horse just to represent it? It just seems like such a bad way to get into the DIA. It feels like it's just warning people that this is a demonic place for the New World Order.
Yep.
Yay. Also, the construction was just super suspicious. It ended up going 16 months behind schedule. Also was supposed to only cost $1.5 billion for the entire thing. Ended up costing them $5 billion. And there's just a bunch of property that there's nothing on, divisible anyways. There's just a bunch of, just a plethora of unmarked buildings everywhere. It just seems pretty sketchy.
Yeah. And there's just a lot of rumors about how it goes directly to the third floor and how buildings could be buried because of just they weren't supposed to be there.
Yeah, there's just like extra floors and stuff. Like, it goes directly down to the third floor. They just skip over the first and second for no known reason. It seems like there's just hidden stuff. And they've added more floors lately, from what I've heard. I've heard that their baggage system, they changed it, and now they added even more floors. And they just have all these extra floors that apparently that we're supposed to believe they're not doing anything on. And I refuse to believe it. I'm not going to just cheat my way into believing that. If you already think all of that is weird and sketchy enough, wait till you hear this. In the back, or for the runways, they are conveniently shaped like a swastika. It's pretty clear. There's a few runways that branch off a little bit that kind of differentiate. But it's pretty clear that it's all in the form of a swastika. And whoever was building it had to have thought at some point, hey, this kind of looks like a swastika. Maybe I should change it. And it's not like this was built before World War II, back when the swastika meant something different. No, this was built when swastika and Nazi were very obviously correlated. Just really sketchy. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, just weird, man. Now, there's also a lot of murals. Now, they're just really, really unsettling works of so-called art. Now, there's one that shows the image of a man in a gas mask. So is a Nazi, obviously. There's a bunch of dead children in parents' arms. The parents are weeping over their deaths. There's no wounds on them, so it can be inferred they died due to gases. There's also at the bottom a little paper. There's a note that was written by a 14-year-old in a concentration camp that was killed due to the gas. And then you can also see 2 children sleeping or dead on rubble. It is pretty unclear. Either way, it's extremely creepy. Now, the next mural we're going to go over shows a bunch of different, it shows animals, right? They're dead animals. And the children are all around them. And they're all having a good time. But they're holding a Mayan tablet representing the end of the world. There's a forest fire behind them. It pretty obviously shows the end of the world. And then in front of them is 3 caskets. And the most unsettling thing to me about this is in one of the caskets, there's a girl that has a Jewish Christian Bible. So it's so unsettling, and it just shows how what the Freemasons want. They want death to Christians and Jews because They know what's right. They know they know it's true. They know that God and Christ will save them and save their souls. And these Freemasons, they worship the devil, they worship Lucifer. And it gives them these ideas that is somehow bad. Then in the final one, it shows what seems to be some witch stuff going on. Like the leopards seem to have little children's faces on them. There's like a fake plant thing that's not real. And it just all seems very witchy. You got any thoughts on this?
Yeah, every time going to that airport, I've always noticed something was strange, and I don't see why they would accept just all those unsettling pictures.
Yes, for sure. And it's just such an awful way to greet your guests that it's very obvious that it's not just a greeting, it's something more, and it's something that you have to see to really be able to see how horrific they are. They depict dead children. I don't see how it can get more awful than that.
Exactly.
Now, I jumped into some Freemason stuff while talking about the murals. And I bring the Freemasons into this because there's a plaque honoring the Freemasons, the 2 Grand Lodges in Colorado, 2 main ones. And it also has the New World Airport Commission on it. And I feel like this is just an obvious tie to the New World Order. And this is talked about in the Bible. So it's not like this is something new to us. We know that there's people who want to bring a new world government to everybody. And Alex Jones has gotten onto this. There's people, it's even talked about in the news nowadays about this new world order. And it's pretty obvious that they want to build this society where we're all where the entire world is ruled under one government. It just seems like such an awful idea because you can't blend all these cultures because it'll just ruin the good ones and bring out the bad ones. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. And based on what we know about the Freemasons and how dark their society was.
Or is.
Yeah. It's definitely not a good thing and should be avoided at all costs.
Yeah, it's not something you want to get yourself tangled up into. I've done a good amount of research on this, and for everybody that's left, it's not a good thing. It's not easy. Oh, and a lot of people around us are Freemasons, and it's just something you have to be really careful of because you never know who's tied. You know what I mean? Yeah. And now it's time to just close this one off, close the file. Not forever, because there's so much more to dig into on the DIA. We only got to the very tip of the iceberg. We gave you the very basic information that can be found pretty easily. And now, of course, we always suggest for you to do more research into these topics and what we say. Because we gave you the base points. We gave you the stuff that's sketchy. And now it's your turn to go in and find just more information that might be buried. Stuff that they actually don't want you to even be able to see. Stuff that's hidden. Any closing statements from you?
Yeah, this is just an ongoing investigation that still needs to be figured out.
Yeah, it's important just for...
Anyone can help.
Yeah, and just for everybody is just... It's important to know your enemy. So I'm not saying they're our enemy yet, but it's obvious what their goals are. It's in the Bible. And we just need to avoid it. So just do more research into it and become more knowledgeable for yourself so that you know what to avoid and what to fight against. As always, thanks from Strange Investigations and have a wonderful day.